We got a new Honest trailer today, people. This is also what happens.
Yes!
Is like when we stuff up, you just start over.
So you could probably take out the stuff of me being like, yeah, I was a stripper at Universal Studios. No,
yes, okay. I will take that out.
It's okay.
Most definitely. How's it going, Reject Nation? It is I, John Humphrey, and with me today, new guest to the channel, it's Keetin Marchi.
Woo!
From all over the interweb. I mean, you're like a Jill of various trades.
I do a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Just whatever's fun and a good people.
Well, what are you doing here then? Because we're bad people and we don't have fun. We actually met doing haunted housework.
Years ago.
Which is about as fun and interesting as you can get. From dusk till dawn, right?
Yeah. I was Santanico.
We were both strippers in our own way.
Yeah, well, you're the front, you're the doorman.
I made $20.
Doorman.
I did,
Well, people threw tips at me. It was a little soul
Let me have this. Let me have this, because it only happened once. But hey, guess what? We got a new Honest trailer today, which is always fun. I mean, you know Honest trailers, right?
Yes, I do.
What's up, John Bailey? Do you like science fiction?
I love science. I mean,
we're the red team today.
Fiction. This is just science.
I know.
I wear this because Elon Musk, SpaceX launched that rocket.
Or
just
something.
been in like the space mood.
It's a good way to be.
So yeah, NASA's cool.
Yeah. Well, speaking of space and science fiction, we got a little bit of science fiction to jump into today. The new Honest trailer.
Yes!
For Doctor Who, and there are two of them. We are going to cover the modern one because, I mean, I've seen some Doctor Who.
I've seen a lot more Doctor Who than you have.
I've seen a lot more Doctor Who than me.
Shout out to all my Tenet girls out there. Although I do love Capaldi as well. They're like now close and,
I'm an Eccleston.
Eccleston.
Which is what I'm calling us who like that Doctor. Dr. 9. All right. I can only imagine what this is going to be. This is a thick, honest trailer, too.
Oh my
God,
ready? It's 10 minutes.
I know.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to do a recording, like singing or something. I feel like Mariah Carey.
That's the idea. I want you to harmonize with John Bailey.
Great. I'll see what I can do.
Here we go.
From Fancy PBS comes a show that takes place anywhere in the universe, at any time in the past, present, or future, where anything can happen, and none of the continuity matters.
Never, ever tell me the rules!
Doctor Who. Get ready for a continuation of the original series that picks up after 16 years off the air, because all the British nerds who grew up with classic Who finally got old enough to call the shots at the BBC. Yeah. Now they're taking the stodgy old formula and stretching it into an hour of quirky comedy.
I demand to know who you are!
Improved special effects and enough soap opera pulp to choke a telenovela.
I think you need a doctor.
¿Por qué, Dr. Quien? ¿Por qué? Meet the Doctor. He's not an actual doctor, but an alien who named himself that as a vow.
The name I chose is the Doctor. It's like a promise you make.
Even though the word doctor was created to describe him?
The word for healer and wise man. We get that word from you, you know.
Yeah, that's not the first paradox you're gonna have to swallow.
Paradox.
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 Paradox. Paradox.
Paradox.
Paradox.
Whoa.
To Faze, he's a two-hearted Time Lord who hijacked a faulty TARDIS from the planet Gallifrey, who's sometimes kind of a dick.
Funny little human brains. How do you get around in those things?
But to casual viewers, he's a funny man with a time machine who takes ladies on adventures, who's also kind of a dick.
It's okay, I understand. You're an idiot.
Watch him dash through time, equipped with a sonic screwdriver and psychic paper, two devices with the power to speed up the plot. And the TARDIS.
Yeah.
A time machine with the power to brake when the plot needs to slow down.
Yep.
It's stuck.
Maybe it'd break less if he didn't keep exploding inside of it. It's just a thought. Watch the Spatial Justice Warrior travel all around the known universe, from the streets of London to working-class British mining towns to the quaintest little English villages.
They're just old people.
No, they're very old people.
But when the budget allows, he'll fly off to the far reaches of the CGI universe, where everything is still extremely British.
Starship UK is Britain, but metal.
Yes, the sun never sets in the British Empire. Or suns. All the suns.
God save the Queen!
By his side, as always, is his trusty companion, usually a cute girl, because ratings who after a few seasons of adventure usually has her life ruined.
They ended up imprisoned. They were tortured.
True story.
My mum, my dad, my sister.
No, please. Please, no.
If she's lucky,
Oh!
Phil's my favorite.
she'll follow along to keep the Doctor grounded, give him someone to talk to, and act as his mostly platonic but not always love interest.
Do you think I'm pretty?
No. They're basically dating without the
Rude.
sex, except for Nardo. That one was purely physical.
Oh!
I'm not just sexy.
Experience a
Matt,
franchise that's
yeah,
been running for
I know
so
him.
long, they built 13 recastings of the main character into the lore, then hit that limit, and pulled even more out of a crack. As each actor brings a new spin to the alien who's seen the stars, but looks like he's never seen the sun. Whether it's Eccleston, the only doctor of the modern era to regenerate due to creative differences with the BBC, David
Damn.
Tennant, the unquestioned master of staring sadly into the middle distance,
Oh, man.
That's why I love Tenet. He just gets you with those puppy dog eyes.
Matt Smith,
Yeah,
who
I'm
combined the
feeling
face
all
of a handsome
kinds of
12-year-old with the wavy arms of an inflatable tube man, Peter Capaldi, who reimagined the Doctor as your uncle who never got married and moved to Vegas in his 40s,
I was being all down with the kids there, did you notice?
or Jodie Whittaker, the
Jodie!
first female Doctor, which, no matter how she performs, is one of the least outrageous things this ridiculous show has ever done.
Dinosaur! A spaceship!
But an all-powerful hero demands all-powerful villains to go up against, and the Doctor has
Oh, I remember that.
some.
Oh, yeah,
Because in
I
plenty of
remember.
episodes,
Those are
it's
so
a lame monster of the week,
Invasion of the very small cubes.
or something invisible to save on the effects budget. Or something we've seen a million times before, but an alien. Ooh.
They're not vampires. They're aliens.
What is it? A minotaur or an alien?
Both.
He's saying bees are aliens.
Not all of them.
Still, some evildoers are among the best in sci-fi,
yeah, tell me
like
now.
the Cybermen,
Yes.
emotionless robots who can only be defeated by feelings.
I blew him up with love.
The Master, a renegade Time
Yeah.
Lord who considers themselves the
Master's
Doctor's
so
arch
great.
nemesis, but is in the middle of this list, so you do the math.
Thanks for trying.
The Weeping Angels,
Oh, yeah, I've
stone
seen one of
statues
those.
who get
Best
less threatening with
episode.
every appearance until they're about as scary as Ghostbusters 2.
Ah!
Doctor's greatest rival, Christmas.
Ah.
The Daleks.
And the Doctor's other greatest
Yeah,
rival, the
There we
Daleks.
go.
Fleshy blobs stuffed into cramped metal homes who spend their entire life shouting commands at people they hate. So, internet commenters?
Hear me talk now.
Follow along on the series-spanning arcs that will delight fans and confuse newcomers, like the seasons where the world keeps ending. But just kidding, he can reverse the planet's rotation like Superman.
Okay.
Earth restored.
The seasons where the Doctor falls in love with his companion, only to lose her for all eternity. Just kidding, he'll make a copy of himself and they'll live happily ever after. The seasons where
What?
the Doctor
Yeah.
copes with the
No
inevitability
rules.
of his own death.
All right.
I'm dying.
J.K. Rowling, he'll live as long as the show needs him to.
Yeah, now.
One more lifetime. Wouldn't kill anyone.
Or the seasons where he's haunted by the knowledge that he's triggered the genocide of his own people.
Hey, Timothy
Look up
Dalton.
genocide. You see a little picture of me there?
Or maybe he's just kidding, and he actually saved everyone but doesn't remember it.
You're actually suggesting that we change our own personal history.
Sure, that'll work. Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, whatever. So run down your nearest hallway,
I hope they say starring every British actor ever.
Yes.
Literally.
pull a plan out of your arse,
Oh, Harkness.
I've got a plan.
Yeah, of course I have a plan.
and start spouting techno babble like the universe depends on it.
Wave of Van energy.
Macrotransmission of a K-filter wavelet sticks it into a living receptacle and then it feeds off the remaining Artrin energy.
Because you're about to get some of the greatest standalone episodes in sci-fi history, with a bunch of momentum-killing serialization crammed in to service the diehards. But after all is said and done, let's still try to be more like the Doctor. Never cruel or cowardly.
Never be cruel, never be cowardly.
Just enjoy the ride and let who do who.
No fro, jo, ko, fo, to, do.
No, bo,
Ninja
ho,
Turtles.
so, ko, no, po, so.
Jeez, you make it hard to love you sometimes.
Yeah, Bebop.
Starring The Leftover, Bad Wolf,
What you gonna
do?
Yeah.
Scary Poppins,
I love her.
Show Me Your Bow Face,
Ah.
the appearance of the repeated meme, Save Martha, Just the Temp, Harry and Ron at the same time. Oh, man. I want a girl with a short skirt and a long jacket. The Mrs. Frizzle. Oots. Just kind of era. We Billy Knew Ye.
Aw,
Master of None. Spin Doctors. The Great Glass Dr. Vader. That time Rose was on Weakest Link.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Oh my god, they killed Rory! You bastards!
Stop it, you'll die.
Yeah, twice.
I'm sorry, Rory, but you just died.
The gravestone here is all the same name as me.
That thing Tennant's voice does.
Yeah, why did I keep going? Get a chance for a cup of tea. Wanna go to the game? That's what we came for.
Every British actor. Harry Potter Division.
Good call.
British actor ever.
Oh, that was her.
I didn't know that was
Every
her.
British actor. Game of Thrones
Yep.
Division. Every British actor. Game of Thrones and Harry Potter Division.
A lot of overlap there as well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
Every other British actor.
Yep.
Every British historical figure.
Winston Churchill, how are you?
Oh, hello, dear. What's up?
Queen Elizabeth I. Charles Dickens.
Queen Victoria.
Agatha Christie. You're William Shakespeare!
Ex-screamers. Long vigils.
I will guard this body
Looks like it, yeah.
for 1,000 years.
36 years, 3 months,
Whoa.
4 days of solitary confinement.
2,000 years I waited for you, and you did it to me again.
Hello? 4.5 billion years.
And Doctor Who?
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who? Doctor Who? Doctor Who?
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who? Doctor Who?
Doctor!
Oh, Doctor Who. Doctor Who.
Days of Our Lives, A Future Past.
Yep.
That's great.
Phew, that was a lot of Who to get through. It wasn't so bad. Now let's see what that classic series is all about.
The Great One is all-knowing! All praise to the Great One!
Oh, new timeline! New timeline! Want to see where the adventures of the Doctor all began? Then click above to see our trailer for classic Doctor Who, spanning decades of television that happened before the reboot. Grab a jelly baby and check it out. It's a fez. I wear a fez now. Fezzes are cool. It's more like a big ball of wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff.
I've always wondered where that quote came from.
Oh, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff?
I mean, I know it's a Who thing, but I've never seen the episode or whatever where that's a Tennant thing, right?
Yes.
See, the magic about this video is even though I haven't seen much of Doctor Who, I have witnessed most every one of these tropes.
Oh, I'm sure.
In the limited amount, like, maybe not Rory dying a bunch of times, but everything else is, like, exactly what
That's, like, kind of the cool thing about Doctor Who, and, like, I'll be interested to see what they do in this new season because different people are taking it over, but they
it's
really...
not Stephen Moffat anymore?
Yeah, no, it's not Stephen Moffat anymore. They really cater to the fans, which is very lovely that they give us a lot of fun things to follow.
Yeah.
And a lot of callbacks. It's kind of like Thor Ragnarok, but a TV series.
All right.
That
actually
it's
sounds
like,
kind of awesome.
They make fun of themselves. They do all that fun
So it's
stuff.
a little bit more meta now.
Yes.
A little bit
yes.
more self-referential.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like if you're going to do a massive overhaul and be like, remember those rules we set up about the 13 regenerations? Well, we can't do that. We got to make more.
Yeah,
Got to break the rules.
We need more money, guys. Why would we stop it now?
People like this too much. Yeah. Damn it, why did Eccleston have to leave so soon? I feel like anybody behind the scenes working on that show would be like, damn it, we only get a limited number of these, at least at the time.
Oh my god, yeah. The graphics are just rough. The very first episode I ever watched of Doctor Who was the Weeping Angels episode, and I was told
I have seen this.
that needed to be the first one I watched because that would kind of help me understand what Doctor Who was kind of.
It's a good nutshell
and
episode.
It's very much, like, the Doctor's barely in it, very much just kind of taken out of the world, but then, like, the Doctor's in the beginning and the end, and it's terrifying, that episode.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So scary.
Great way to make you never, like, at ease around a statue ever.
Oh, ever. Like, never in a graveyard. And that one's called Blink, I believe.
Yeah,
so
if
you're trying to get any of your friends or family members into Doctor Who, I highly recommend watching Blink first and then starting at the beginning with Eccleston.
I thought that was a kind of it's a sharp barb, but he brings up that point about a bunch of really amazing standalone episodes with like a bunch of things in between them to connect them together for the fans. Like, would you agree with that, or?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Like, it's so random, and I sometimes get frustrated with Doctor Who when they have like episodes that are like the story arc spanning like it's a 3-episode arc, because I like that each week I'm going to a different place, a different time period, or something new is going to happen.
Monster of the week.
Basically Monster of the Week. And sometimes those episodes that are like multiple episode arcs get a little slow, because there's only so much of this wibbly wobbly timey-wimey crap you can put into stuff. As much as I love it. But
as long as seasons are, you can't be super consistent, I would imagine, with how much like serial stuff you're doing between all the little isolated incidents and whatnot.
Well, and there's really no rules in this universe. Even when they say there's rules, they'll maybe like a season later will be like, actually, this is why that rule doesn't apply anymore.
Yeah.
You forgive them.
That was a thing I thought was funny about this, when they bring up the sonic screwdriver, about how like it's just whenever we need to move the plot along, let's just bring that thing out. You know?
And it's so funny because sometimes the sonic screwdriver, like, it works really, really well, and then somebody's like, it won't work on this, and it's like, but it worked on that last season. I don't understand.
And that makes me wonder, is it just writers coming up with something and then somebody across the room 10 days later goes, wait a minute, we already did that. We'll just add another line or something. Or do they just not care that much?
I think they care. Obviously they care. It's just such a part of pop culture, like in nerddom culture now.
It's one of the few things in its like original format that has endured for so long and is still like more popular than ever.
Yeah, it's like Survivor.
Yeah. Yeah. Which will never go away.
Survivor's on 37 seasons? I like reality.
Damn.
I work on Survivor. That was my first job out of college.
Oh, rad.
Yeah.
What did you do on Survivor?
I tested challenges.
Surviving?
I was surviving. I tested challenges out on location, and then I started working with wardrobe and casting. So
they have wardrobe on Survivor.
Well,
casting seems like a whole thing.
Casting's a whole thing too. If you want to audition for Survivor, get your tapes in now.
Yeah, comment below.
Yeah.
And I'll make sure you get.
But seriously, send your stuff in now. We need some more like nerds and gamers on the show. They always do the best. It's not the big strong guys that do the best. It's like the nerdy gamers who are good at strategy.
Really?
Yes, I promise you.
Guys, get on national TV.
There. I've never found a similarity between Doctor Who and Survivor, but you just showed it to me.
Hey, maybe in the next season we'll see a Survivor episode.
We could.
Where the Doctor and the companion are in a Survivor, and the companion's like, what the hell are we doing here? And the Doctor's like, something's wrong,
I'm trying to think if they've done that already.
They probably have.
There's so many episodes of Doctor Who at this point. There's very specific ones I remember, but yeah, I don't know if they've done that.
See, watching this got funny to me because after a while I started to be like, I can't tell if these are things that I've seen or not, but a lot of them look familiar. It's like some of them I know I've seen, and then some of it I'm like, I can't tell if that just looks familiar because I understand the concept of the world.
Yep. And you've been to conventions where they have a ton of Doctor Who stuff up, so you've seen these actors portraying these characters and seeing people cosplay as
and
these
everybody
things.
else portraying these actors, portraying these guys. So many fezzes and scarves. Everybody loves Tom Baker too, so scarves and stuff. But do you have a favorite episode? Do you have like an all-time fave?
Ooh.
Or like hot take of like an underappreciated episode?
Well, Blink again was my intro, so I thank Blink for scaring the crap out of me as well as making me want to watch Eccleston. Oh, there's so many. Bill is my favorite companion. And Bill was Capaldi's second companion.
Okay.
She didn't last long, which I was really sad because I thought she was cool. And I liked how she challenged the Doctor. Have you ever seen Hitchhikers?
Yeah.
Doctor Who is like a TV version of Hitchhiker's Guide.
It really is. Like, especially in some of that really cheeky humor too.
Basically all the same actors.
Yeah. That was the other thing too, is you called it, man, like every major British actor you could think of.
Like, it became a thing with me and my roommates when we were watching, because it's a big thing, my roommates and I always watch the new episode together every week, and we're like, oh, where is that person from? And we try to see who can guess who they played in Game of Thrones or Harry Potter first.
See, now I want to start watching new episodes and predicting which of these actors is going to blow up out of Doctor Who. Because I feel like people do it like right before they kind of get huge.
Yeah, it's like a rite of passage to do Doctor Who almost.
Yeah, you're not allowed to be a British actor if you don't do Doctor Who.
Well, and I love Maisie Williams is a huge Doctor Who fan. She plays Arya Stark, obviously, in Game of Thrones, and she was such a Doctor Who fan after she became famous with Game of Thrones, asked to be in an episode
Aww.
of Doctor Who, and they did. I think
That's
she's
a
in a
dream.
2-episode arc, but I'm like, how cool is that?
She had better be.
Yeah, I mean, she's going. I think she's come back. I don't remember, but
she's gonna be the next Doctor.
she would be a great Doctor.
I could actually see that.
She
for
would
sure.
be like 10, 20 years from now. She'd be an amazing Doctor. Maisie Williams for Doctor.
She could do the heavy, but she could also do the kind of charm, the wonder, you know.
And she's just like cheeky as hell. Like that's just like kind of her motif is tongue-in-cheek type stuff. So I think she'd be great.
You don't seem surprised to see me.
There's also been instances, I believe, and you can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, and I apologize, but I think there have been instances where actors have been smaller roles and then have gotten cast as the Doctor. I think that's happened. There's a cat.
Oh yeah, we got 2. That's Copper, and the other one's Todd.
Oh my God, it's like Fox in the House.
There you go. Thought you might appreciate that. A few people
Saddest
pick it up,
movie
but when they
ever.
do, yes, yeah.
I Blink. Blink is what introduced me to it, and what's her name who blew up after that? Carey Mulligan. So Carey Mulligan, that was one of her first big TV roles, was in that episode of Doctor Who, and that's like the only episode of Doctor Who she's in. But you follow her more than you follow any of the main characters in Doctor Who.
Damn.
So, Doctor Who, again, rite of passage. But they don't really cast Americans unless... Well, there's one American who's cast is... What's his name?
Jack Harkness.
Jack Harkness, the only American
A character
ever
I
allowed
know.
on Doctor Who.
Really? He must be that special.
He's great. And then he got a spinoff, too.
Torchwood.
Yep.
Yeah, I know things.
See? Look at you.
I know a thing
You're
or two or two.
You can stay. We'll allow it.
Oh, thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
It's not even my show.
I mean, I'm always looking for approval, so if you think I'm fit to stay on my own show, I appreciate that.
You can stay.
It's the utmost compliment. But hey, what's your favorite episode of Doctor Who? Comment below, let us... Oh, I can't say that. That's Jeremy Johns' thing. Subscribe to the Screen Junkies, though. Give them some love. Always appreciate a good, honest trailer. And you can subscribe to The Real Rejects. Hit that notification bell to get updated every time a review or a video is out, because the subscribe button doesn't do that anymore. I don't know why. That's what it's for. But anyway, check us out on Patreon. Also, follow Keetin Marchi on the social media, Instagram, Twitter.
At Keetin Marchi. It's just my name.
All right. Yeah. Be well, people.
Yeah.
Cheers.